Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Your boy TPG. And this is another episode of Manifesto, man. I hope everybody is doing good, taking care of themselves, staying out the way and handling anything that they need to handle in life. You feel me? Tell you how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm good. Y'all already know who I am. I am Teddy Bear, man. What's up? What's up? No glasses today because I'm not hosting today. I'm not hosting today. I'm
Okay.
not hosting today. Today I am in the passenger seat, and it feels good from my side. I'm gonna let you know that now. Feel good to be in the passenger seat. But why don't you tell us why we are in manifesto today?
All right, man. So we here basically we're gonna be discussing, you know, generational things and everything that ties into that, like, off camera, me and Tay was talking about, basically how a lot of the music that comes out, whether we agree with it or like it or not, that, a lot of people are like sampling, old school music and, bringing it back and, some of it cool, some of it not, whatever, whatever. But, I told him like I'm more so listening to the older music than the
He
newer
told me
music.
he's getting old. That's what he told me.
Nah, for real. Like I don't know. I don't know, cause I feel like back in the day when my mom was like cleaning or we'd be having family events, whatever. Like she'll be listening to like their music from back in their day, and I didn't get it. I didn't like it. But I don't know. As I got older, man, especially now, bro, like that's really I listen more so to like 90s R&B music more so than whatever's going on today, for sure.
Oh, I mean, generation. You know, we had a conversation, and generational music is so weird, man, because it's like you heard this song done so many times. Like
Yeah,
the Mary, I'm gonna use the Mary Jane Girls for example. You know, the Mary Jane Girls came out with that all night long, and then
yeah,
you turned around and Mary J made the same type of music using the same type of demographic, and it sounds
yeah,
completely different, but it gives you the same that same feel, that same
yeah.
feel. So, and I mean, hey, even "Lady in My Life" by Michael Jackson was turned around and turned into "Hey Lover" by LL Cool J. You know what I mean? They're both
Bro,
they're both great.
I
You
ain't
didn't know that?
nah, I'm about to say I ain't gonna lie now. LL, he was I don't know. That was a
LL,
little bit before. I don't know. I won't listen to LL like that. I ain't gonna lie, but I know he for sure sampled a lot of people though. A couple songs of his. You feel me? For sure. But I feel like that's the way to kind of like because they say history all it do is repeat itself, bro. So I mean that's just one of them things, man. Those songs are like legends,
they
like
are.
you feel me, classics, so to speak. So you feel me? It's only right that they gonna want to sample a big song like that and try to like go viral off that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But you know, I feel like they like even with the remakes of the movies, bro. Like have you seen what was it? The White Man Can't Jump?
I have with Jack Harlow.
Yeah. Now,
Yep.
what was your? Give me your opinion, your honest opinion on that movie.
TPG, you coming? My opinion on that movie was just like this. I feel as though we gotta give I feel as though we gotta give a perspective. We gotta look at it from a perspective point of view. In other
Yeah,
words, we gotta stop thinking that sampling is bad. Sampling isn't bad. It's just a way for them to pull the past into the present. Think about think
yeah.
about it like
For the
think
newer
about it
generations.
right. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. Sampling music to make a new song is nothing more than being the grandchild of the original song. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, for sure.
So White Man Can't Jump with Jack Harlow is just the offspring of the original White Man Can't Jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So basically there is nothing new under the sun, because in order for you to create something new, that it has to come from something new. And
exactly.
the sounds are not new to us. The sounds are not new. The media is not new to us. That's why I feel as though the more older I get, the more I'm probably gonna become a hermit.
Yeah,
Uh, because it's gonna be like I done seen that. I never understood when old people used to be like, I done seen it all, done it all. They
yeah,
really have. It's just in their own semblance. They really have. It's just in their own reality. So that's just my take on it. Like the whole White Man Can't Jump thing. It's just the offspring of the original movie. But will I sit here and say it's a good movie? It's probably not a good movie to me, because like I said, I'm a 30-year-old man. But there might be a kid out here who's 14, 13, and that might be like one of the best movies they ever seen. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Same thing with Space Jam. You know what I mean? I love Space Jam as a kid. Who didn't? But
Man,
but when they made
I'm
Space
a,
Jam,
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real, Tay. Honestly, and I don't know how people feel because Space Jam kind of caught some
flat.
like of course the kids loved it, but as far as the older generation, I don't know if they was really fooling with it like that. But me honestly, it had like some, some moments where I felt like they was trying to be like overly funny, like where it got to like a cheesy type of moment. But I mean, I don't know. The one with Michael Jordan wasn't really that. I mean, it was cool.
But it wasn't that exciting. But that
Yeah, I don't know. Like it was cool. Like
but it flows from the demographic. That movie wasn't aimed towards us. That movie was aimed towards 8-year-old boys and 8-year-old girls, or
yeah,
you know what I mean.
exactly,
So when they
exactly.
seen it, they seen all these wacky characters and stuff, and it's like, oh man, Bugs Bunny playing basketball? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Let me see that shit. But
yeah,
even now with the new Space Jam, bro, think about it. There's a kid out here who probably worshiped the ground LeBron walks on, and watched that movie and was like, "Yeah, this movie is wild. Yeah, this movie is like that." So I'm gonna say there's three things that you need for a generational pastime. There
yeah.
has there has to be a need for what you're trying to. There has to be a need for what you're trying to bring into the present. There has to be an understanding that this is not new, but it is renovated. You know what I mean?
Right.
And last but not least, it has to be a love for it. It has to be a love for whatever you're trying to bring into the present. Because I was talking with somebody today, and I explained to them that you cannot just bring something and expect you can't play on the heartstrings of nostalgia,
Right.
because when you involve nostalgia, what ends up happening is people start thinking that it's going to be a carbon copy of whatever you're trying to reinvent. But when you say, oh, had you changed the name on it, had you changed the title of it, had you changed any key concept about it and called it something else, it probably would have thrived. You see what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
nah, for sure. For sure.
So So
I definitely agree with that.
so that's
Cause
that's the
I
that's the
feel
big
like
problem.
I don't know. Some of these remakes they could have been kept. You know what I'm saying? Or they could have definitely just took a little more time for paid attention to like detail. Cause of course you gonna make it, like you said, it's directed at a certain age group. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not gonna be better than the original, bro, then I mean you can keep it, man, because I feel like
But
they messed up a lot of good remakes,
but
like
why?
whether it's songs or whatever.
But why? Now I'm gonna ask you, but why? Why should they have kept it? See, the thing is, we tend to put nostalgia in a place of homage.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's where the artists is, like a lot of artists, a lot of producers and stuff. That's where they mess up at. They pull on the heartstrings of nostalgia rather than pulling on the fairness of homage, of paying homage. You know what I mean?
right.
Like like we've seen people bite each other flows, but it's a way to do that and pay homage. We've seen people rip off people movies, but it's a way to pay homage. We've seen people rip off people's songs. It is a way to pay homage. Like
Yeah, for
you,
sure.
you can't thrive off nostalgia because nostalgia only gets you to the present. But homage, paying homage, clears a way for your future. You see what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. And I mean, I feel like, and you right for sure, because you don't never want to be like, especially like that conversation where like the older generation of basketball, they'll be like, oh, like, these new boys could never play back in our day type. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that. You definitely want to pay homage and respect um just a new era of things. You feel
And,
me?
and there's
For
nothing
sure.
wrong with that. It's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. It's nothing
for
wrong with
sure.
that. And I feel like when we're talking about generationals, like when we're talking about generational things, especially like with like older people, because we just did a segment. Once again, we just did a segment on grandparents. We just did a segment on grandparents during Shoot the Breeze. But
Right.
but to even pay homage to grandparents, you got to understand that when they were watching basketball, them fellas wasn't getting paid thousands of dollars. I think Carl Malone was a grocery attendant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That
like
that's why they was calling him the postman, right? Or the
yeah,
mailman. The
yeah,
mailman.
like you got to
I didn't
you
know
got
that was real though. I didn't what the he was working at what?
yeah, like if memory serves me correctly, uh it was a lot. He wasn't the only one. It was a lot of other NBA or professional ball players out here that had regular jobs, but they were playing professional basketball as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And since we're talking about generationals, it took them going through that for LeBron to get a big contract. You know what I mean? Hell,
Yeah.
them hurdles that were. I think everybody's in the right timeline that they're supposed to be in, because the hurdles that you're faced with at that time,
Mm-hmm.
only you could have got through them.
Nah,
Your
for
your
sure.
your descendant 20 years from now probably couldn't have got through it. Your descendant 20 years ago probably couldn't have got through it.
Nah,
But
I agree.
but
I
it
agree.
it comes down to those generational gems, because it seems like when people talk about generational, they always bring up the next word is always a curse. Oh, I got a generational curse. My daddy was a drunk, so my granddaddy was a drunk, so I'm gonna turn into a drunk. But
For
I don't
sure.
really I don't really think because I'm using the NBA as a metaphor. If Karl Malone was working as a grocery attendant, you're not going to turn around and get his son's not going to be a grocery attendant. His grandchild's not going to be a grocery attendant because of those generational
Right.
gems. You know what I mean?
Right.
He by him putting it down. in basketball, it opened up a new doorway, but he took what he learned and passed it to his, his family and whatnot. And
Right.
I feel like we all do that, but we all do it on different things, and curses is one of them. Since we're talking about generational, generational pass downs and generational gems, curses is a part of that. It's a part of that spectrum. But the generational gems, like, have you ever talked to a female and she made biscuits and was like, my grandma made biscuits and she taught me how to make biscuits, so now I make biscuits? That's a generational gem.
Yeah. Um. Um. I don't honestly. I don't think, and it's not that everybody, not that everybody, but I don't know if certain that's a rare thing these days, Tay. Like,
What you
like
mean?
you said, it's more so people talking about generational curses and breaking generational curses more so than, positive, productive uh traits and whatever being passed down through the generations nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, and it has to be stated. It has to be stated above anything else that
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time breaking generational chains instead of reinforcing the chains that have been the strong links in the chains that has been passed
Yeah.
down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And what I mean by that is that you're willing to accept that your granddaddy's a drunk and that your father might be a drunk and that you might be a drunk, but you're not willing to accept the fact that your granddaddy left you some land, some cattle, some horses, and you don't know what to do with it. You'd rather just sell it. You see what I'm saying? Like generate. You didn't try to you didn't try to restructure the chain that was given. You just wanted to pull links out that you didn't like, and that's one of the big parts that we fall into.
Right, right, right. For sure. Like, I was just having a conversation with my sister, like literally last night. Like, I'm telling her, like, listen, you know, having your family together and doing certain things like cookouts and gatherings and events and stuff like that, that is, that's wonderful, right? That's wonderful.
Right.
But I feel like if more families, like, think about if five families, Tay, got together, everybody's working consistently, saving up, and if they're not saving up on their own, let's just say we got this big account that everybody, these five groups of families is just, whether it's $1, $2, $5,
Pouring it
50
in.
cents,
Pouring it in.
whatever. Don't even matter. Just putting it in there whenever you can, right? And let's just say everybody commits in a perfect world, everybody commits, and we do this for a course of 10 years, or let's say 5 years. Let's say we get enough money. Why we get enough money to buy a piece of land and, build houses on that land. We all live on that land, right?
Right.
Why not? Why now? This is property. This is houses. This is resources. We could
It's a
we could
lifestyle.
start crops out there with the land. This is and this is stuff that can be passed down to our kids and to their kids
Yep.
and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like especially our community, but just anybody, like, other communities stick together, bro. Like, we need to have that. You know what I'm saying? And really build we don't have generational wealth. That's why we're always breaking generational curses. We
But
don't have the other.
do you? We actually do. In my opinion, we actually do. But I gotta say it like this: generation. We focus more on generational curses because those curses are fueled by generational ego. In other words, how many times have you heard, "I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to be like my granddad." So with that being said, you already done placed the ego in your head that nothing that they have ever done was worth it or invalid, to the point where now you have broken yourself from them, but you cannot take those pieces and reattach them to make yourself stronger because you don't want none of it. You know what I mean? Yes, and since we're up here, we're just talking. Yes, my father, my father wasn't the best man in the world, but by my father's actions, I learned actions to instill in myself that even though he's not a good man, or even though he wasn't always there, please understand that he still has something to offer you for you to learn and grow. You know what I mean? Like we have to we like black folks, and I know we saying our people, but black folks, we got to put that ego aside. When you put your ego aside, that's when you can start leaving generational wealth. Because too many times have we heard that black folk, when my kids turn 18, they got to get out. Meanwhile, you got these other people over here who they got the aunt, the uncle, the brother, the sister, all staying in the same house, pouring into the same pot. There's 5 cars in the yard, owned by all of us. There's a big ass. We got a damn 8-bedroom house. Every last one of us is only paying $200. $200, and all our kids get to grow up together. We don't gotta try to get everybody together to do a cookout. Bro, I could just say, hey, I'm putting something on the grill. Everybody's already fucking there. But
Right.
black people wants to be the ones to shit on each other. We want to shit on each other at every fucking chance we get. We want to shit on each other. We want to be the ones with the nicest fucking chains, the nicest cars, the biggest bank account, the flyest bitches, the most handsomest of niggas. You know what I mean? Like there's so much stuff that boosts our ego, but it doesn't boost our pride. We don't like we don't have generational pride. I've seen, I've seen it. There are other races out here who have generational pride. In other words, if my granddaddy was a farmer, I'm gonna be a farmer, but I'm gonna be twice the farmer my granddaddy was. I'm gonna be twice, I'm gonna be 3 times the farmer that my dad and granddaddy was. Black people don't think like that. We say, oh, my daddy was a broke nigga, so I'm not gonna be a broke nigga. Not realizing that your daddy may have been a broke nigga, but your daddy had work habits that could have taught you how to make it to the top. Your mama may not have been home all the fucking time, but your mother had a mindset to teach you that the world is not fair. Even though I love you this much, I still have to go out here and make this money. Black folk do not focus on we focus so much on our ego that ego and pride is not the same thing. Ego and pride is not the same thing. When I take pride in my family, that means I'm not going to disrespect my family's name. But when I have an ego, that means no matter what, even including my family name, it's my choice. My choice. Some shit shouldn't be left up to a choice. If you want that generational wealth, you got to put that ego aside. Yeah, you made 60,000. Let's say you made 60 million. I'm gonna say you make 60 million. You made 60 million, and you're like, I made this 60 million, so I'm gonna spend it. Okay, you're gonna spend it, but what are you leaving to? What are you leaving for the next generation? Why aren't you building up? Why aren't you building programs? Why aren't you building initiatives? Why aren't you building scholarships? Think about it? If my name is Dante Wilson, and 4 generations down, there's a Jamal Wilson, and Jamal Wilson is my grandchild, and I had 60 mil, and Jamal Wilson don't even have a fucking scholarship, I fucked up. I fucked up. So
Exactly. That's the thing about that too. Like, you know, because we have kids, so that's another generation that's coming up under us. So right now in real life, what we do by the time, because we all got to depart from this life at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? So So what we able to accomplish is what's going to be set up for our kids. The knowledge that we install within them, like the kids right now are the future, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like these are multiple, generations that's coming up under us, bro. That what we do right now is going to be a big part of what they learn and pick up and what the fuck is gonna be going on in the future. So you look around and you see what's popular and what's talked about the most. How you think our future looking for our kids?
It looks
And
terrible.
I'm asking you, like, what you
Okay,
think?
okay. I'm about to tell you exactly what I think. You ready? When we were growing up, we had Family Matters. When we were growing up, we had like Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Jamie Foxx show. You know what I mean? We had Martin. It showed we had Living Single. We had what's the other one? A Different World. We had the Cosby Show. Now let me tell you exactly what black folks got now. Raising Canaan, fucking baddies, fucking Ghost, the book. I mean, Power, fucking BMF, fucking Bel Air. You know what I mean? We got all this shit that's teaching the next generation, bro. You don't got to have shit in order to have money. But what we're not teaching these people is that you can acquire knowledge, and that's worth more than money. We're not passing that down. We're not passing that down. And I'm not saying those are bad shows, but I got a friend of mine who always asks me, "Did you catch the new episode of Raising Canaan or Power?" And I'd be like, "No, I don't watch that." They'd be like, "What? You don't watch Raising Canaan?" I said, "No," because that's going to be the demographic that people judge us off of. You know what I mean? I remember when you was able to watch TV and everything that you watched on TV wasn't narratively scripted to make us look animalistic. Everything we have on TV, and it has been passed down by generation to generation. We started. How do we end up? How do we start with Carl Winslow, Uncle Phil, Uncle Junior, and now we have no positive male role models on TV. None. None. What you say?
I said, do do Bill Cosby count still?
Bill Cosby don't, Bill Cosby don't count, but Dr. Huxtable does count. I can differentiate the character from the person. So Bill Cosby didn't teach me shit, but Dr. Huxtable taught me how to be a family man. Dr. Huxtable told me it's not always about picking up a belt. Sometimes it's about picking up your child. If your child is down and out, pick your child up. Don't pick that belt up. You know what I mean? That's what we were taught. But now we don't have no type of fucking male role models, bro. No male role models to say, let's move this shit forward. Let's take what Uncle Phil and them taught us, reinvent it, and then use it somewhere else. We don't have those narratives no more. Those narratives are gone. We don't have women out here that want to be Claire Huxtable. We don't have women out here that want to be Whitley. We don't have women out here that want to be Aunt Viv. We don't have women out here that want to be that want to elevate in a sophisticated manner. Because what we have now is we have a bunch of kids, and this is all going towards that generational thing. We have a bunch of kids who ourselves got to spend time with our grandparents. You know what I mean? And we had to watch shit like Days of Our Lives and shit. So it slowed us down a little bit. These new kids do not have those type of grandparents, because the type of grandparents that they have these days, the type of grandparents is these jokers feel like they one of the kids. They feel like they one of the fucking kids. Let's keep it hot. You know what I mean? You got a granddaddy out here that has a 24-year-old girlfriend. You know what I mean? You got a grandma out here that's still wearing juicy across the crack of her ass. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, bro, let's keep it hot. When we talk about generational gems, we when we talk about that ego thing, that's the ego. You 60 something years old. Why the fuck do you need a 24-year-old? You're 65 years old. Why the hell you got Juicy running across your ass? But if you took pride in your family name, I wouldn't dress like that. I wouldn't do that because that brings shame upon my family. So that's my take on it. Like, bro, like it do I feel like the media plays a large part. The media plays a large part in generational shit too. Think about how much more humble people would be if social media was not around. See, we all realize that there's eyes that's gonna be on us. We all realize that there's eyes that's gonna be on us, but the only bad part about them being on us is now we're not just performing for the people in our towns no more. And I'm talking, ladies, I'm talking to y'all on this one. We're not just out here looking for the attention of people in our town. We all knew who the town skank was. We all knew that type of situation. But now, now it's different. It's different because now a woman in California can get money from a man in Virginia and has never met this man, don't even know this man's name, don't give a fuck about this man, but will turn around and shake her ass on camera for this man. Now, once again, I'm saying all this because it is all generational. By you not being by nobody instilling in you family pride versus family ego, by nobody instilling you that you got to take pride in that last name that's given to you. You said, fuck that, I'm not going to be a broke nigga. And you turned around and boosted your ego. And now you're up here showing your butthole for $9.45. I got added 45 cents because of tax. So with that being said, man, I do not feel as though generational pride has been examined thoroughly. I think we just rule generational pride off as ego and just leave it at that. And it's not that at all.
Mm, okay, okay. I agree, bro. Like I hear all that because you know I look around and I heavily I wanna touch on the fact that I feel like media today, bro, that is exactly what's wrong with the people right now. And social media, I mean, listen, bro, like, technically what we doing right now, we are engaging with social media. So, I'm not gonna say, like, again, we was talking about this off camera. I'm not gonna say technology is a gift and a curse depending on how you use it. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, they didn't have that. They didn't have that, bro. So you had to really like get to know somebody. You had to really um
Take your time.
women, yeah, like women had more morals about themselves. You know what I'm saying? You had to really get to know them and really show them, that you know you wanted to be a part of their life for real. You know what I'm saying? And you was like women was getting married at like 16 and shit like that, like in the South, and like dying with their husband, like for all that long time, bro, having 10 kids, whatever, like, you feel me? So like nowadays, bro, like if somebody, I don't know, if somebody do got a lot of kids, is I don't know. It's not leading to no husband type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's again, it's not a slight to our women now, but I just feel like, man, I don't know. Um, like I said earlier, I don't feel like our people have uh, you know, traditional traits and like productive things passed down to us no more. I feel like
Because
that died
go
out.
we don't have that anymore. We don't have that anymore for one reason and one reason only. Because, like I said, family pride has been taken over by ego. And what I mean by that is, imagine how easy it would be to send people to school if we all were putting in $100. I got a kid, you got a kid. Let's say it's 6 of us. We each put $100 in this bank account every time we get paid. By the second time we done got paid, we put in 200. That bank account says 1,200. We put in 1,200. That bank account is exponentially higher. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't look at these situations and think, oh well, this is going to benefit my kids. See, we all try to make it for our kids on our own, and that's where we got to stop too. Like, you see these other cultures, and I'm not just talking about women here, I'm talking about men too. You see these other cultures where you have responsibilities. I'm not even going to say responsibilities. You have an obligation to your family to do what's best for your family. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you imagine how easy it would be if you had an 8-bedroom house. Somebody say, "Hey, I want to go to college." Oh well, shit. Stack. If you want to go to college, you can go to college. A matter of fact, we're going to make sure that you make it to college, so you don't got to stress about finding no job. You don't got to stress about nobody watching your kids. You don't got to stress about none of that, because why? Because you stay with us. So if we got this big ass house, your kid is gonna eat, your kid's gonna drink, your kid's gonna have toilet paper to wipe their ass, your kid's gonna have a bed to sleep in, so you can focus on school. We as black folk don't pass down that type of generational gem. You know why? Because we were always brought up to believe that the only person that can change our situation is us, and that is not true. That is not true, because it's a lot of, if that was the truth, then suicide would just be a fucking fable. It is not true that only us can change our situation. No, it takes a village. How do we go from saying it takes a village to get it on your own? Motherfuckers love to scream that I'm standing on business, but you can't do business by your fucking self. You can't stand on business if you're the only person that's involved in the deal. That's not standing on business, G. You have to show and prove that your family is tight knit, that your family has the obligation. Everybody understands the obligation that the family is first. That's the reason why mobsters grew the way they grew. That's the reason why any type of organization grew the way it grew, because your family comes first. If we all pour into this pot, we all get to get a nice healthy bowl of something to eat off of, to feed our souls, to feed our spirits, to feed our families. But because we have to make the bowl ourselves, as black folk, once again, because we have to make that bowl ourselves, we make enough for us for today, and then turn around and got to make some more tomorrow. And that's what's killing us. That's what's killing you. We're not getting ahead. We're staying hungry. Black folk, we got to stop using that shit about, oh well, being hungry, because our grandfathers were hungry. Our grandfathers were really hungry. Them jokers went out. Think about it. In a world, I want you to think about it like this. In a world where nobody liked us, somebody granddaddy found a way to get 13 acres of land. 13 acres of land from these people who did not like us, wanted to kill us. These people who owned us, they granddaddies got. Now we got a granddaddy with 13 acres of land. He not even doing nothing with it. Your granddaddy said, if y'all go out there and y'all clear off a piece of that land, I promise you can put a house out here. Instead, you sold the 13 acres and went and bought a house on somebody else's lot. That's how we think. But everybody else, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. But everybody else, the youngsters with the strong backs, get out there and chop that wood. Ladies, what we need y'all to do is make sure these fellas are fed. The younger ones, y'all take that wood, go take it over to the shack. So if we ever need firewood, we got firewood. All while doing all that, you're clearing off the land. So not only are you replenishing resources, you're clearing off the land to put a house in. Now you can get a house with a fireplace and got wood. Now you know the layout of the land, so you know exactly how you want your house to look. You know exactly what you want to do. We don't think about it like that. So when it comes to generations, the only thing that's been passed down to us is how to struggle. That's the only thing that's been passed down to us. We have not, we nobody, and I hate to say it like this, nobody has yet to show me a key that says this is the key to success without, that was passed down from my family to yours. That man, Donald Trump, came out his face and said, my first ever loan was $1 million from my father. $1 million from my father. Let's keep it hot. $1 million from my father. If your daddy gave you $1 million right now, you'll fuck it up. You know why? Now, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying in general, you'll fuck it up. And the reason being is because you were not taught the value of that. You were taught that money buys a lot of shit, but you never was told that you do not have to spend money to make money. You were always told, what are we always told? Hey, well, you gotta spend money to make money. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's called a passive income. No, you don't. But our grandparents didn't know about passive income. But now that you passive income, teach that to your grandkids. Now that you know about an ARP loan, teach that to your grandkids. A beginner's loan, teach that to your grandkids. The shit that wasn't taught to you, teach that to your grandkids or your kids, so that they can take that knowledge, be immersed in it, and it's natural to them. When it comes, success is not natural to Black people, and that's because of generation after generation of struggling and failure. So when it comes to Black folk, generational gems is rare. It's very rare that you hear somebody say, I learned how to fix a car from my granddaddy. It's very rare that you hear somebody say, I learned how to clean fish from my grandma. You know what I mean? It's always, hey, shit, I had to learn it because I had to shit. It was either this or I fucking starved. So I had to find out how to survive.